Yeah. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I got it. Yes. Okay, so I had to do something different today. Um, it's not live streamed. Let me see here. Yeah, it's not live streamed, unfortunately. But I can still make a video. I can still post it. For some reason, I'm having a hard time with the live stream. So I'm going to run through this lesson quick. It's 9:30 now. We're talking about international marketing strategies. I'm also going to go over the FSC real quick towards the end. Yeah, this will get us all the way to activity 6 or so of Unit 4. And Unit 4, we're going to be done next week pretty quick. And then we'll have Unit 5 is only about probably 3 or 4 classes as well. And then we'll be doing an exam review. And we'll have plenty of time to work on that FSC. Okay. And again, like I said, we'll talk more about the FSC toward the end of the lesson here tonight. So, okay. So first, international marketing strategies. You can follow along or help to aid your learning here by looking through Chapter 11. Okay. So first of all, marketing is more than just sales. It's the sum of all the activities involved in the sale and distribution of products and services to your selected market. Okay. So marketing is just the term marketing is much broader than it would imply. So companies must formulate business decisions called marketing strategies in deciding how to most effectively market its products or services internationally. There are several marketing strategies to consider. We've got centralized versus decentralized. We'll talk about that in the coming slides. Push versus pull. Again, I've got more slides on that. And international brand acquisition versus brand development. Okay, so first, centralized marketing strategy. A centralized marketing strategy focuses on the production or sale of goods from one central location. The centralized business produces all of its products in one country and then exports them to another. The companies have several marketing divisions. Each one of those divisions is responsible for a specific area of the world in which there is a market potential or a market or potential market. So you've got a division for each foreign location that you're operating. Uses the think local, act global approach, meaning wherever the home country is or wherever the company is headquartered, they pretty well use the same marketing strategies from that home area across their global reach, so multinational. All marketing, pricing, production efforts are developed and come from that one single location. So here's some advantages of centralized marketing. Brand building, so you can create global brands like Coca-Cola, Nike, and KFC, where cultural differences, they don't need to take cultural differences into account so much. Different synergies. So the combination of efforts produces an effect that's greater than the sum of its parts. So centralized marketing can bring together research and development, creative advertising, and more effectively than smaller local suppliers or distributors can. Then other cost benefits through economies of scale, so less duplication of effort to save resources. And we've covered economies of scale already. So decentralized marketing strategies. So this is when we're thinking global but acting locally. So you use local production facilities, advertising agencies, market research companies, sales reps, etc. So you get more of that local feel. You're using people from those foreign countries that you're reaching out to again help with any cultural differences, language and communication differences. Of course, we've already talked about translation issues. More of the advantages, proximity to those markets, the flexibility, and then, of course, cultural sensitivity that I've already covered there. Okay, now we're into push and pull strategies of marketing. So first, the push strategy. So marketers that use a push strategy, they're selling their products to retailers, importers, or wholesalers, but not to the end user consumers. So they're advertising and all their advertising and promotional efforts are towards those dealers to convince them to carry the product. So they may offer different sales incentives at the retail level, offering points or rewards for number of items sold to the end user, or they might have different promotions at the retail level. Marketers will utilize trade shows, sales agents, and dealer advertising promotions. So in the push strategy, they're looking to sell out an existing stock of a product that they currently have. Whereas in the pull strategy, they're essentially, well, I'll go over the pull strategy, but what they want to do with the pull strategy is they want to create demand for a product. Whereas push strategy is to push that. You have to think of it as they're pushing that product out of the warehouse. Say they've already produced the product, they want to push it out of the warehouse. The pull strategy is they're creating demand for the product. So they're creating a marketing strategy that just creates demand, makes people want to buy it. So pull strategy targets the consumer directly. So this is consumer direct advertising. So advertising and promotional efforts try to convince consumers that they need a product, and therefore pull these consumers into stores to look for a brand. There's a lot of different pull strategies. You can look through them in your textbook, but those of you that use social media or use the internet extensively, you see a lot of those pull strategies in the form of web advertising. Also with television commercials and magazine print advertisements and things like that are directed directly towards the demographic that's making those purchases or watching those stations. A lot of them, of course, on kids stations are going to be directed towards kids and children. You've got Men's Health magazines, are all the advertising is going to be dedicated towards that demographic. So anyway, those are all pull strategies. Brand acquisition strategies. So companies trying to enter international markets may fail to sell their own brands because there's a strong local competition there in that industry. The company may purchase an existing company in the foreign country, or they may acquire the rights to distribute the brand locally. So some advantages to that. The workforce, management, and goodwill. So the existing workforce to the brand are working for the company or the brand that they've acquired. Managing that workforce, managing those local workers, and of course the goodwill and the positive reputation of the company that already exists before acquiring that company, they all come with the company that's been acquired. So those are all huge advantages. Secondly, buying an existing company is an effective way of controlling the competition. So rather than having to control or fight against that company for market share, once you acquire the company, that market share belongs to you as well. Now some brand development strategies. So instead of purchasing a competitor, the company may use its own foreign subsidiary to develop a product to compete in the local market. It's an expensive and complex way of entering international markets, and it's only viable for multinational companies that market branded consumer goods. Okay, now we get into global marketing. So some economic factors in global marketing. Successful global marketers have to market products effectively to local consumers so they will want to buy them. Before marketing in a certain country, marketers must decide whether A, there's a market for the essential goods only, and B, there's a market for the non-essentials as well as the essential goods. Okay, I'm just going to breeze through the consumer profiles here and different strategies. So international markets must also target consumers in the countries that they do business. An international company must develop an image of the ideal local consumer, and this image consists of a demographic profile, motivational profile, and a purchasing profile. And we're going to talk about the 4 Ps of marketing in a minute. So first, our demographic profile. So they're the characteristics and statistics about the human population and the target market. The key demographic variables marketers are interested are first, age, gender, family lifestyle, and religious or ethical background. More consumer profiles. Thorndike's pleasure-pain theory states people's behavior is controlled by the desire to either achieve pleasure or avoid pain. Huh.